Hello, this is Dr. Nancy Trimboli with your Healthcare Arsenal podcast. This podcast is designed for that person who knows there's a better way towards health and wellness. They just don't know what that better way is. And my hope for you is that with each passing episode, you get closer to being your own best expert. Today, we're doing a deep dive into stealth health. I call this Stealth Health Secret Intel. I wrote this book. It took me 2.5 years, 3 revisions. Worked with a fantastic editor who helped me to find this final product, and it was published in May of 2020. The final edits were done the first days of March 2020, prior to when the world shut down. So things have changed since I wrote this book, but amazingly stayed the same as well. Today, I want to dive into the powerful questions. We talked recently about the powerful question number one: what if I could heal? What if? So, that question is a mindset change. It doesn't require any action at all. It's just a mindset change, realizing, hopefully, that what you've been labeled with or what you've been told that would help or not help or there is no help at all really maybe is not true. So today, question number two: why? I'm going to read to you directly from Stealth Health. Powerful question number two: why? The second question to ask is why, because it opens up the ability to learn. It's not a why me question like why am I such a loser? The why me questions take you nowhere. It's a what is going on with my body question. It's what series of events led me here. Now, for me, when I was dealing with the gremlin in my gut, a necessary tidbit of information was sent to me, mailed to me by my mother. She was in the process of moving from the home of my childhood, and she bequeathed me a composition book with my name on the front. And I remember this book as a child. You know, the composition book with the lined paper inside, and the outside was that marbled black and white. My mother kept meticulous notes of the medical interventions of me and my older brother and my 2 sisters. She recorded every doctor's visit, every medication, noted with the date and the outcome. And I write, this ancient manuscript created by my mother held a secret. The new intel contained a clue that led me on the path to healing my gut. Now, you know, when I wrote Stealth Health, I used the behind the scenes theme of a hero story, kind of like when I use specifically Born Identity, Mission Impossible themes in the background. So that's why I write that this new intel contained a clue. So here's the intel. In 1972, I was in the first and second grade. I vividly recall the matching outfits my mom made for me and her because she was a sewer, and in particularly, she made us matching green pantsuit with a plaid top and green pull-on pants, which, because I was the second tallest girl in the third grade, got me the nickname of Jolly Green Giant. So I also remember being in Dr. Dubin's office. He was our family doctor, and we would walk the 4 blocks to his office in Franklin Square, New York, from our home. His office was in the lower level of his home, which is still commonly seen on Long Island, is that the doctor lives in the house and his office is on the lower level. His mid-century white tile floors had a reflective shine, and there was the clear, sharp scent of rubbing alcohol. By reading the composition book with the black and white cover on which my name was written in pencil, I learned that when I was 7 years old, I was on antibiotics 7 times. In the early 1970s, it wasn't known that the overuse of antibiotics would lead to lifelong problems and drug-resistant bacteria. We didn't know about MRSA. We thought bacteria was the new savior of mankind. We didn't know that even one course of antibiotics leads to an imbalance in the natural flora, which is our own good bacteria in the gut. Antibiotics were in their heyday. It was the miracle drug. The 1970s were a time when moms brought the kids to the doctor for every sniffle and cough. This did not dramatically affect me until I was 35 years old. And honestly, I remember that day vividly. It was like a light switch. It was off, and then suddenly it was on, and I was in hell. So it came on sudden, it seemed sudden and came without warning. But those symptoms I learned from this memoir did not come out of nowhere as it had seemed like many years later. If I had not been asking that second powerful question, why, this ancient manuscript would have held no secrets. It would have just been something I either tossed away or plunked in a file drawer. But because I was asking, my mind was open to new information. In the quest for why, nothing was ignored. Small details revealed in the unfolding scenes of any mystery often become pertinent later on. Because you play the leading role in Mission you are not at the whim of a family member, a health professional, or a well-meaning neighbor. You are on a mission. So what I mean by that is if your neighbor hears you're suffering, they say, oh, just rub some garlic on it. Like what? Like, okay, that might be an unexpected discovery, but maybe it's just me getting distracted by outside influences. I am on mission me. You are on mission you. You are on a mission, and it is the most important job you have. Your life as you know it or knew it needs you. Your dreams and desires want to become a reality. Your mission is bringing your life back. It is the most important thing you do. Once you start to ask why, your intention for everyday life changes. No matter if you're speaking to a neurosurgeon, a gynecologist, a health food store operator, or an energy medicine practitioner, you are always allowed to ask that question. Asking a neurosurgeon about your neck pain might lead them to say it is there because of a previous car accident that affected your neck. Asking the gynecologist about that same neck pain, it might have to be a holistic gynecologist, may prompt them to say that you might be estrogen dominant, which can cause joint pain. The nutritionist might say that you have an inflammatory response and to try taking a turmeric supplement. The energy medicine practitioner might say that the neck houses the fifth chakra and you've not been able to speak your mind, so there is blocked energy there. You may accept or reject for now any of these, but each deserves investigation. So there are a lot of questions to ponder. This book is not designed to impart all of the tools that I have. Now, here's why I wrote that. When I was first considering writing any book at all, one of the things that came to mind is, okay, list all the complaints that anybody's ever come in the office for and what direction people should go. Now that's been done, and it's been done 1,000 times, if not 100,000 times. And there are some really good books out there that do that. But that wasn't my intention. I knew I could never cover all the bases in my book. And that wasn't the message I wanted to impart. So there are some really good resources out there. I can see them on my bookshelf over there, and I can see them on my bookshelf over there. I mentioned them in Stealth Health, the different resources I would use to start an investigation to answer that question why. So grab a copy of the book and you can see those resources. But I knew I couldn't do that well. I couldn't do it justice. All right, so we go back. This book is not designed to magically impart all the tools that I have after a doctorate degree and 25 years in a busy practice treating 20,000 different people. But take heart. Asking yourself the second question, why, will allow illuminations to occur. And I know now, asking that question out loud, what if I could heal? Why is this happening to me? Out loud will even bring even more answers to you. Once you start asking, this question gives you permission to uncover clues. You allow yourselves to start digging through your own personal history. You look for interdependencies between organs, accepting your body for the vitalistic structure that it is, that everything is influenced by everything else. Every tissue and organ is dependent upon the other, and no effect of stress is left without leaving a telltale footprint. When you accept Mission you don't get all the details at first. You just get little snippets of evidence. Asking the question why puts you in discovery mode where no tidbit of information is without value. You just might not be aware of its importance when the scenes first play out. You are like Mission Impossible's Ethan Hawke. Everything is important. No doors are closed. All can be opened. Every clue has relevance. Store the information away. You are on a quest. You are on mission you. Now, also at the same time, because you are so ill, and because nearly all of us, not all of us, but nearly all of us, have been carried along by the system, conventional medical model, the pharmaceutical industry, food industry, chemical industry, the media, the research, academia. We have all been carried along on this current for our whole lives. So I continue. You are waking up to the system's influence. The system is all around you, attempting to affect your thinking and your actions. The billboards on the way to work along the busy boulevard for the Women's Health Center. The ad in the friendly community magazine for the neurology group. The 3-page spread about the new Alzheimer's drug in your favorite magazine. The banner and side panel ads of your online search engine for medications you don't need, with the very fine print in the bottom that, if you were to read it, warns you of the dangers of taking this route. The television show with the handsome young hero in the smock of an MD with angelic qualities of unending compassion and apparent mystical insight. The gossip magazine at the grocery checkout, whose cover boasts the ultimate weight loss secret alongside the can't miss recipe for super fudge Belgian waffle cake. I made that one up. Awareness of these subtle, nearly imperceptible pressures of the system to conform and the insidious dangers that lurk within is the first step to new discoveries. Like Jason Bourne of Bourne Identity, you are awakening from an apparent coma and will begin to unravel your mystery by reaching out to your first ally. The first person who is of help to you may simply show you a common sense approach or direct you to an author or a book or an expert. Your first ally. Very often I am someone's first ally. They come to me and they say something like, Dr. Nancy, I don't know if you can help me with this, but I have this issue. What do you think? And very often I have either a tidbit of information, a chapter in a book, a person, an expert, an online resource. Because no, I may not personally be able to help them, but because of just my vast experience of living in this world that I do, I make some connections. And that could be the answer, just to be somebody's first step on their path to unravel their mystery. So I continue. The first person who is of help to you may simply show you a common sense approach. Sorry, I already read this. Or direct you to an author or a book or expert. Slowly, you will gain confidence and momentum as you uncover additional elements of healing. Asking the third powerful question, where are my resources, tells your subconscious that you know you are able to heal. You've already now answered that question. What if I could heal? What if I could heal? And where is my resource? So by even asking the question, where are my resources? You are confirming I can heal. I can heal. I can discover and unravel this mystery. I can discover ways to undo the damage of the past. I can heal. This confirms that you trust yourself more than the entities of the system. When you start to ask, where are my resources? You are saying, the system has been making me sick my whole life. And where now are my resources to heal, because I am becoming my own best expert? Remember that if the normal or conventional had gotten you to your healing point, you would not be looking for alternative routes. Remember that if the conventional medical model had kept you well, made you well, you are in a blissful state all the time, you would not be looking for an alternative route. Keep that in mind, because there is so much pressure of the system for you to conform. And especially now, looking back on the last few years, that pressure to conform so blasted, not only obvious, but premeditated. I haven't shared this article before, but I have it. It's by Dr. Joe Mercola. It came out in late 2020, very early 2021. And it was in regards to the shot and how the advertising was going to create shame around protecting others. I think there was 3 different methods that they would use to coerce the public to do something that they wouldn't have done ordinarily, and to modify their thinking. And one of the methods was to create shaming. I remember that specifically. Media, advertising, public service announcements, medical professionals, unabashed shaming of others. This is the pressure to conform. We saw it quite plainly. We all saw it. It existed before that, not as obvious. Now we know. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it, and it is still there. Keep that in mind as you travel through the world and you're unraveling your mystery and you're inside that conventional medical model. It is still there. I continue. Remember, if the normal or conventional had gotten you to your destination, you would not be looking for alternative routes. There is a solution, and you are on the path to discover it. Usable details will start to flow in, and you are savvy enough now to research typical treatments and the meaning of your diagnosis. Remember when we broke down Latin? If you have already begun to ask yourself the first 2 powerful questions, what if I could heal and why? That puts your brain on the lookout for usable details. Soon, people now unknown to you will reveal themselves as allies in Mission U. No matter what, you can do this. Right now, as you are listening to this, you are thinking about the monumental changes you can make, and I want you to speak a word or two of gratitude. You might be grateful, and you should be grateful for the realization that you've been messed up for a long time. We all are. Everybody is. We have all been ensconced in the system that is making us sick our whole lives. That's okay. Perhaps you've recently taken some positive steps towards healing. Be grateful for that. Say that out loud. Maybe you have a supportive spouse or friend that deserves recognition. Whatever it is, take a moment and shout, whisper, or mutter aloud your gratefulness. When you are done with that, thank yourself for being the bold creature who is listening to this. If someone should recommend the Stealth Health book to you, or if somebody did recommend Stealth Health the book or this channel or this podcast, thank them. Whether they're in the room or not, thank them out loud. Saying this out loud sends a message to your subconscious of your unbridled commitment to Mission You. I know all this can be daunting. As you travel on your individual path, you might feel like you are alone. You are not. You are surrounded by love. And as you explore, allies and helpers will make themselves known. You can take this journey with their help, and I'm going to show you how. You may think that you don't have the smarts for this, and I'm telling you that you do. We all do. And here's the funny part. A thorough understanding of anatomy and physiology isn't necessary. The greatest scientists of today admit that we have only scratched the surface of understanding the mysteries of the universe and the intricacies of the human body. A healing method doesn't require its mechanism to be known for it to work. Many of the greatest healing techniques produce wonderment at their power from the practitioners themselves, me included. I do chiropractic adjustments. I've been doing this for 31 years now, and I am still amazed every day at the changes I see in people. And honestly, it's a mystery to me. I just do what I do. I clear the nerve system, the body takes over, and it is miraculous. It is so fun. Now, it takes faith, I know, but you have until recently put your faith in the system. The people and places that didn't pay off. I know what you've gone through with making the appointments for the conventional medical system, showing up, filling out the paperwork, sitting in the waiting room, sitting in a cold exam room in a paper gown for you don't even never know how long, getting the dead end responses, getting the little piece of paper with the scribble on it to go get a drug that maybe works, you're not sure, definitely has side effects, but it's not an answer. You've done that. And now I'm asking you to put your faith in the one place where the person won't let you down. Put the faith in yourself. I've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of people regain their health and fulfillment in life by taking ownership and using these steps. I personally have taken these steps, so I know the path. Come along with me on Mission You. Big changes are coming. Whenever you doubt yourself, remember this. The system taught you to spell and say acetaminophen. You can learn anything. I hope that helps. Be well. As always, with each passing episode, my hope for you is that you get closer to being your own best expert. Bye for now.